Congratulations, we've made it. It is Friday, the 29th of January. This is the last day of second quarter. So we really are halfway there. So let's get this done. Well, hopefully you already have it done. Let's get this checked. It says the bar graph shows, the bar graph shown compares the weights of 4 puppies, in an animal shelter. Use the bar graph to answer the question. So let's take a peek here. This is weights of puppies, and I see a Dachshund, a Labrador Retriever, a Beagle, and a Poodle. And the weights in kilograms, now I see this is counting up by 2/10, so there's 1, 1.2, 1.4, 6, okay, so it's counting up by 2/10. But look at here, it goes 0 and then up to 1, and then there's this little weird thing. Do you know what that's called? It's called a break. So there's a break in this graph, and all this break means is we're not counting by 1. That means I want to start at 1 and then do my number scale. So you can use a break in a graph, and this means I don't want to count by my first number. So you break the graph. Anyhow, number 1 says, how much does the poodle weigh? So when I look here, I have to follow it over to the poodle, and when I follow it up, I see that it's halfway between 2.0 and 2.2. So that would mean that it is at 2.1. So the poodle weighs 2 1/10 kilograms, because it says it's in kilograms, so you should definitely put that unit after it. You could write out the whole word kilograms if you want, doesn't matter. Okay, number 2 asks you to list the puppies in order from heaviest to lightest. Well, this is kind of nice because the tallest bar is going to be the heaviest, right? So that 2.1 that we just did, that was the heaviest. That's the poodle. So I'm going to write poodle. Now the next highest bar is at 1.8, which is the Labrador Retriever. So I'm just going to write Lab Retriever. And then after that, the next highest bar is the Dachshund at 1.4 kilograms. Oops, I forgot an H in there. Can I fit it? Sure, there we go. All right, and then the lightest one would be the little Beagle, and that is at 1.1. So we went from heaviest to lightest. Okay, number 3 says, what is the combined weights of the Labrador Retriever and the Beagle? So that means I want to take, if I want to do the combined weights, that means I want to add them together. So it looks like the Labrador Retriever was 1.8, and the Beagle, when we follow it up and over, it's halfway between the 1.0 and 1.2, so that would make it 1.1. So I'm going to add those two together. So 1.8 plus 1.1. 8 plus 1 is 9. I bring down my decimal point, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2.9 and 2.9 what? 2.9 kilograms. Number 4 asks, how much more did the Labrador Retriever weigh than the Dachshund? So if it asks you how much more it weighs than the other one, it's asking you for the difference between the two. That means we're going to subtract. So again, we said the Labrador Retriever was 1.8, and the Dachshund is 1.4. So we want the difference between these two. So I would take 1.8 minus 1.4. 8 minus 4 is 4. I drop down my decimal point, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So 4/10 of a kilogram. That is how much more. Okay, last part here. We have a table, and this table shows the amount of rainfall this month in 4 different cities: Chester, Creekside, Merton, and Warner. I've never heard of any of those. I don't know if they're actual cities. I cut this out of a different assignment. All right, so we're supposed to make a bar graph showing this information. I have each city listed here: Chester, Creekside, Merton, and Warner. And I went ahead and put the number scale on there for you. I saw that the lowest value was 5/100 and the highest was 25/100. So with those values, I thought it would be great to count by 5/100. So I went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just to make sure that last thing was filled out. So what's missing from this? Well, we're missing the bars. We're missing a title, and we're missing some headings here. So we'll fill those in. Let's see. What should we call it? Rainfall, sounds good. Rainfall amounts. And along here, what do these numbers represent? These numbers represent the rainfall amount. And whenever we do the heading, if there is a unit of measurement to be listed, we should. It looks like it's given in centimeters, so I'm going to write CM just like that. And down here, those are the list of cities. So I'm just going to say city. Okay, time to make the bars for the bar graph. So Chester is 20 hundredths of a centimeter, and I see that's right here. And I'm going to do my best to make some nice straight lines. If you need a ruler to make your nice straight lines, you go for it. And I'll just draw some shading like that. Creekside is 10 hundredths of a centimeter. That's right here, so I'm going to have it go up to there. And you want to try to make your bars the same width. Otherwise, it can make your graph look a little bit deceiving if they're not. You'll talk a lot more about that when you have your statistics chapter in Algebra 1. You got a ways to go. Merton, 5 hundredths of a centimeter. That's this first section here. And Warner goes all the way up to 25 hundredths. So that's going all the way up to this one. I'll draw this part first. And there we go. Shade it on in. Okay, you're all set. Happy Friday.